Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have myself a drink and we're going to ask the question, is too much freedom a bad thing? Just so you know, this is chocolate vodka and, or devil's food vodka to be precise, and it's no joke, so, never more than one shot of this a day. It's stuff is hangover city from what my friends tell me. I bought a bottle to review it. That's why I'm drinking in this video. I have to drink the dang stuff sometime. And again, this is the kind of thing you just, on rare occasions, because it's so strong. I had 2 bottles, 2 flavors, 2 bottles. Tossed the other one, or use the other one for something other than consumption, because this is some really impactful stuff. It is supposed to be 6 times distilled, but I don't know how this is going to say. This is raspberry cream Shasta. Went well with the vanilla, but I don't know if raspberry and chocolate go together at all. Anyway, in addition, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean then pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you'd be so kind as comment, like, and subscribe, you've been doing your part for a better world. Now, is too much freedom a bad thing? Yes, obviously. That's why we have laws, because you are not 100% free to do whatever you want in every circumstance. Take this vodka, for example. It is held to certain standards, all right? Moonshine, so named because it is distilled in a far less scientific manner. It's moonshine is because you made this stuff at night so that nobody would find out it was bootleg alcohol. That's in fact, I believe, where bootleg comes from, is you would hide it in bootlegs to transport it. And this was a form of vodka made of corn, And one of the reasons you distill vodka is to remove certain alkaloids, which will give you more of a hangover, okay? You distill alcohol to remove the dead yeast bodies and certain byproducts of the yeast that aren't good. This is not bad, but not good. But, it's just one of those things that when you make alcohol, formaldehyde is formed. The filtering process removes that formaldehyde so that you have something that is not as dangerous. That's one of those things. I mean, you look at my people, Jews, I mean. Before you had the FDA, we had kosher laws. What are kosher laws? They're laws that dictate how food is to be prepared so that that food is not bad for you. Back in the day, you didn't have penicillin, so you had to be more careful. The pig is the most slaughtered animal by humanity. It is considered the most intelligent animal that we slaughter. And as a basic point, it is the reason for a lot of diseases that plague us. Swine flu, hence the name, comes from pig. What happened was something that could live in a pig but not in a human got into a pig, and something that could live in a human and a pig got together in the pig and made a new flu, and that's why we have swine flu. So if we didn't consume pigs, our society would actually probably be a lot safer from disease. Now, this is not to say that if you don't consume pigs, society as a whole is kind of the issue. Once again, you must cook your pork properly, but in cooking your pork properly, I would not recommend the consumption of pork if you could help it. But in proper kosher fashion, the animal is not to suffer, but the animal is to be drained of blood. Why is the animal to be drained of blood? Well, in the Bible it says you are entitled to the creature's flesh but not its life. The blood is the life. And in reality, there are many diseases that can live within the blood. So that's one of those reasons. In addition, when we drain the blood, it removes or changes the color of certain tissues that are dangerous to consume. There is a reason you're not supposed to consume organ meat in kosher diet, because, the organ meat is likely to have the diseases. So the muscle tissue is what's healthiest for you. And I mean, nowadays we have an FDA inspector, and, we Jews back then, we had a rabbi, and the rabbi would have to at least supervise the slaughtering of the cow so that this cow could be consumed safely, right? There was a time, I forget exactly what it was, but basically they made this, I think it was cough syrup with antifreeze. And people didn't test it first because there were no laws that said you had to. And a bunch of people died. And when they said, hey, you killed a bunch of people, the answer was, well, yeah, but we labeled what we said what was in the stuff. We just didn't know if it was safe. We made something that was safe, but we did label what was in it properly. So then and therefore, we didn't do anything wrong. If you put in this vodka antifreeze and you labeled it properly at the time, that was legal, even though this was a thing for consumption. We've now decided that we are going to take that freedom away from people because it endangers other people, and you're not allowed to sell things that are food products that are poisonous. That's one of those things about freedom. We've had to do a lot of studies on what is safe to consume. That's the world we live in. And that's why food has, safety levels in it. I mean, I remember I was at the store one day and I saw something on sale and it was a good price, and I looked at it, and then I turned it over and I saw a sticker and it said, warning, this product contains lead, which is considered by the state of California to be poisonous. And I was like, I'm not buying this. Okay? The law says that if your product contains lead in the state of California, you have to label it lead. Now, that is a infringement on freedom, but having that freedom is not something we want people to have. We want people to have freedom to do things that impact you, yourself, not other people in a negative way. It's much like the concept of, I have a neighbor that used to really thump his music. I mean, the glass of my windows would shake as he played his music. And guess what? That's illegal. Now, only if you complain about it, because it's disturbing the peace. So if nobody cares, it's perfectly fine. But if, somebody cares, he has to stop. And that's a good thing. You shouldn't be able to play your music as loud as you want to at any hours of the night. you should have to respect other people's sleep cycles. So yeah, we can have too much freedom. Freedom is not free. It's quite expensive. And we should have freedom so long as that freedom does not infringe upon the rights of others. That's the concept of freedom. So yeah, too much freedom is a bad thing. That's why we have laws. That's why those laws protect people. And those laws aren't perfect. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the law is a perfect code. But in the cases where we think there's something wrong with the law, we should seek the change of that law. Sometimes, yes, it is okay to break the law if the law is truly unjust. But, that's not the topic of this conversation. Wish I used bigger glasses. Anyway, hardly taste that stuff, but my friends tell me that if you drink too much of this, you'll have a hangover. I've never had a hangover, but see, that's the thing. I drink like a proper Irishman. Proper Irishman might throw up from the booze, but he ain't gonna have no hangover because he knows how much he can take. I've thrown up from booze once. Too much, too fast, didn't eat properly beforehand. Anyway. So yeah. We should have laws that impact our freedom. We should have our own moral code that impacts our freedom. We should all try to treat each other with respect. Anyway, that's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I'm Richard.
Danger Ducky says, this is your magic moment. A moment for you to do something that is good for the world. You can comment, like, and subscribe, because for every 1,000 subscribers this channel gets, they will buy one of these bracelets I am wearing. Each one of these bracelets I am wearing means that one pound of trash will be removed from the ocean. Cleaning the ocean is an expensive thing to do, and we need your help, so don't be trash. Comment, like, and subscribe, and get trash out of the ocean.